An expected 23.2 million domestic and international flights in 2022 and a daily average of 2 million passengers using the friendly skies, it is only logical that the TSA has implemented stringent regulations. To guarantee everyone's safety throughout the flight, they set restrictions on what can be brought on board and put in checked bags. Aside from ensuring the security of passengers and crew, agricultural regulations are in place to prohibit the importation of any animals, pests, or food items that could spread illness or damage ecosystems. Sadly, there will always be a few rule breakers who think they won't be discovered or that their scheme to get a prohibited item past officials is 100% foolproof in any setting where there are laws or norms. This list details 10 unusual items that travelers have attempted to conceal in their luggage in the hope that they won't be discovered. Number 10. A gator with albinism. Less than 200 albino alligators exist in the world, making them extremely rare. Additionally, because they lack pigmentation, they cannot hide themselves, are susceptible to sunstroke, and have poor vision, all of which severely disadvantage them in the wild. Sadly, their scarcity makes them a target for wildlife traffickers because they may fetch prices of up to $2 million when sold. A 42-year-old American guy who was going from Germany to Singapore on September 25, 2022, made the decision to carry one of these exotic animals with him. Unsurprisingly, the discovery of a 3-foot 1-meter albino alligator in his suitcase by customs officials during a security checkpoint caught him off guard. The alligator was totally covered in cling wrap and duct tape, but for its nose. Fortunately, the alligator was still alive despite being seriously ill. After being freed by customs agents and a veterinarian, the alligator was brought to a reptile refuge. The man's cell phone was taken away, and a fine was also imposed. The case is still pending in both criminal and legal proceedings. Number 9. Newborn of 6 days. Mom allegedly tried to smuggle the baby in the carrier on September 4, 2019. 42-year-old Jennifer Talbot was supposed to fly from Manila, Philippines, to Columbus, Ohio. Nobody suspected she had a priceless cargo, a 6-day-old baby boy, carefully hidden, though. Talbot managed to sneak through immigration with the baby in an enormous carry-on bag, but was eventually halted by staff before boarding the aircraft. The infant was discovered at that point. Talbot initially asserted that the child was her nephew, but she had no supporting evidence for this assertion. Talbot later provided authorities with an affidavit purportedly signed by the newborn's mother authorizing her to travel with the child. The mother of the child, however, had not put her signature on the document. The infant was given to the Social Welfare Department when Talbot was taken into jail. Talbot was accused of both kidnapping and people trafficking. Number 8. Black Fox Head. On September 12, 2019, a mother and daughter going to the US from Senegal made the decision to carry a somewhat unique gift with them. U.S. Customs and Border Protection detained them when they landed at Philadelphia International Airport after finding an 8-inch 20-centimeter African fox skull in their luggage that was fully intact and had hair and teeth. The skull, according to the passengers, was intended as a present for their cousin, who intended to use it to fend off evil spirits. The women ultimately made the decision to hand the gift over to customs officers. Number 7. Texas man arrested at BWI Airport with missile launcher in luggage. An active military service member was traveling from Kuwait to the United States on July 29, 2019. The item he chose to bring back, a missile launcher, however, gave TSA authorities quite the scare. TSA agents at the Baltimore-Washington International Thurgood Marshall Airport found the military weapon. The traveler, who was stopped for interrogation, merely indicated that he carried the missile launcher with him as a souvenir for his native country. Fortunately, the launcher wasn't live, so the state fire marshal was able to safely dispose of it. Number 6. An infant leopard cub. Smuggled leopard cub from Bangkok to Chennai. See the airport employees feed it due to habitat destruction, illegal wildlife trade, trophy shooting, and ceremonial use of their skins. Leopards are now classified as endangered in both Asia and Africa. Although it is against the law to smuggle these animals, one guy persisted in trying to hide a 1-month-old leopard cub in his luggage on a journey from Bangkok, Thailand, to Chennai, India. The 45-year-old passenger arrived in Chennai on February 2, 2019, but his intentions were abruptly derailed when his small traveling companion started wailing. The individual attempted to flee the terminal as soon as authorities grew suspicious in order to avoid being interrogated. The 2.2-pound 1 kilogram leopard cub was hidden inside a small supermarket basket when authorities opened his luggage. The young cub was obviously in shock, but before being brought to Chennai's Arigna Zoological Park, it was bottle-fed and examined by a veterinarian. To ascertain whether the passenger might have been a part of a wider smuggling network, the matter was referred to the state's Wildlife Crime Department. Number 5. In raw chicken, a gun. Unloaded weapons are permitted to be checked as long as they are in a secured container and declared at the ticket counter, according to TSA regulations. As long as the items are wrapped with ice or frozen ice packs, the TSA also permits the transportation of food items including meat and vegetables in either carry-on or checked luggage. One bold customer on a flight to Haiti, however, made the decision to defy both regulations and attempt to conceal a pistol by stuffing it into a raw chicken. On September 27, 2022, TSA personnel at the Fort Lauderdale Hollywood, Florida International Airport fortunately found his stuffed bird. Regarding the passenger or the charges, no specifics were provided. Nevertheless, Homeland Security noted that this incident was an ongoing criminal case that has been accepted for prosecution. Number 4. Egypt mummy components. On February 24, 2019, a Belgian visitor tried to smuggle 2 pieces of Egyptian mummies into their luggage inside a speaker. This smart plot, however, was foiled when an X-ray monitor picked up images of mummified body parts, including the bottom portion of a left hand, 2 feet, 2 legs, an arm, and a portion of the torso. Customs officials at Cairo International Airport seized the remains, who were subsequently inspected by an archaeological committee, which determined their authenticity. After being seized, the body pieces were taken to an Egyptian museum to be repaired. Number 3. Fried fish with cocaine inside. While carrying illegal substances is never authorized on an aeroplane, or anywhere else, for that matter, one 38-year-old female passenger thought she could outsmart security with the ideal scheme to conceal cocaine within fried blowfish in her luggage. The female traveler was going to Miami, Florida, from Jamaica. On June 13, 2015, she flew into Miami International Airport, but when her luggage was X-rayed, something much worse than traveling with fried fish was discovered. Some of the fish were bulkier than others, and some of them had stitch marks on their stomachs, indicating they had been stitched together, according to U.S. Customs and Border Protection officers. Then, within the fish, they found 2.3 pounds 1 kilogram of cocaine. The woman was taken into custody and the cocaine was seized. Number 2. $770,000 cash. On March 1, 2015, Abdulkarim Altareb, then 48 years old, was traveling by plane from New York to Qatar. Altareb lied, saying he had $6,500 in cash when asked to disclose how much he was carrying by customs officials. His luggage was given a second look, and more than $770,000 was found there. In boxes of Alka-Seltzer, Theraflu, Dove soap, Band-Aids, and Splendor, Altareb had hidden $50 and $100. Altareb then claimed that the money belonged to his family and that it was intended for construction in Yemen when Homeland Security questioned him about it. Altareb was accused of smuggling bulk cash. Later, it was discovered that Altareb operated an illegal money transfer company and had falsified information on food stamp applications, tax returns, and citizenship applications, among other things. Altareb was given a 4-year, 3-month prison term on May 10, 2017. Number 1.22 pounds of prohibited meat. At Dallas-Fort Worth Airport, U.S. Customs and Border Protection discovered something pretty peculiar on February 4, 2017. Despite making a false customs report, a woman flying from Vietnam was really concealing 22 pounds 10 kilograms of unlawful animal flesh and body parts. After being requested to bring her suitcase for a baggage examination, the meat was found.